So today, guys, we're going to talk about up to the fourth dimension. So let's get started. So we start with a single point. A single point in a place has no sides or dimensions. A second point can indicate a different point in space or time, where that position is all you need. And to make a line across that, passing through the 2 points creates the first dimension. In the first dimension, there is no width, only length in the first dimension. Once you draw a line or another point diagonal of that, then you are now entering into the second. So if you don't understand it yet, the first dimension is just one line. One line in either waypoint or form. But that line is only connecting to one other point. So you get to the second when you connect that with a bunch of other points, creating a figure or image. But it's still, there's no depth to that image. It's just a bunch of lines connecting to each other. That's the second. The third, you have depth. And the third is the dimension that we live in with depth and more space. So to explain a little bit more further on that, second dimension, like playing Mario. First dimension, there's not really any games in the first dimension because, like I was saying, it's just lines. Not, it could be multiple lines, but none of them are connecting to each other, creating an image or figure. And the third dimension is the one that we live in every day. Now, in the fourth dimension, just like all the other dimensions, there's two opposing directions that you can go in. And as 3D entities, we only experience time in one dimension and matter in one dimension in the space of moving forward. Science has proven that the reverse of time or the reverse of matter, antimatter, is just as valid as what we are made of. And then the direction of we're going of the opposite, just as valid as in the direction we're moving in. So in the fourth dimension, you would to be able to control a lot more of time, which as you being born and your death as in one same period, one same dot. Because we're in the third, we move with the time. So we see ourselves growing older and older and changing as we get older instead of one as a whole.
So instead of experiencing it in its circular way that everything is looped together, we experience it linear because the reality of our being is to where we can't experience the fourth dimension in its absolute because we're third, just like second dimensional being, two-dimensional beings can't experience the third dimension in its absolute because it is beyond them.
Right.
So once we reach beyond the third dimension, we can only experience time. The fourth dimension is time. So then, or what we call as time. Once we experience it for what it actually is, we will be able to manipulate it and understand and maneuver it in its
more absolute.
Yeah, more